Well, hello there, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastic. There are people with leaf blowers at the neighbor's yard. Drive me crazy, but what can you do? There it is, that evil, evil drone of leaf blowers. So anyways, today we're talking about something that was actually inspired by another video. I recently posted a video that said 5 things that you don't, need to learn on guitar, and it actually upset a lot of people. And I can see your side of it, but it brought up another video for me, which I think that a lot of the people who got upset about it weren't really listening to what I was saying in the video. They just heard, like, you don't need to learn sheet music, and then that's all they heard from that point on. They didn't actually hear any of my reasoning behind it, which is fine. And it made me realize people are thinking of it just as an individual. And I'm thinking of this stuff as a teacher, believe it or not. You're like, why are you telling people not to learn stuff? It's like, well, I never told anybody not to learn stuff. I just said that it doesn't need to be learned if that's not something you're interested in. You can still play guitar and do all kinds of stuff and never learn a scale in your life, and you'll be happy. But it made me think of, why do people stop playing guitar? And again, I think people are thinking of it very small and individual, but I'm viewing it more of a teacher I've taught for about 10 years now, a lot of in-person people as well, and I've seen a lot of different types of students and taught a lot of different types of people. And to be honest, the number one thing that I feel why people stop playing guitar, and think about how many people start playing guitar and how many stop right away, and it's because of forced learning. They're forced to learn things that they don't want to learn at the time. Now, there's nothing wrong with learning how to read music. There's nothing wrong with learning scales and all that kind of stuff. But if that's not something they're initially interested in, don't force it on them. That's a huge thing. That right there kills the, inspiration for so many people. And I know this because it did it to me. When I was first starting out on guitar, I took lessons to try to get me started playing stuff, and the guitar teacher was dead set on the fact that I needed to learn how to read music, I needed to learn the scales, and I needed to learn chords. And I was like, but I want to learn, it was a Matchbox 20 song at the time, and then probably some AC/DC and Three Doors Down, where, 3 bands there were songs I wanted to learn. And he was like, well, we'll get to that. We need to learn this stuff first. And after 2 months, I hadn't learned any songs, and I quit playing guitar. And I think that is evidence that style of teaching is extremely ineffective, and it's actually been proven. I'll put down a really good article about this that I had read, and the research that's been done, that style of teaching is very ineffective. It is not a good way to teach. It's not a good way to be about any of that stuff. Now, why it doesn't work is because, for one, guitar and just any instrument, I don't want to limit it to guitar, is a very difficult thing to learn. It's not easy. And your inspiration to learn guitar, even though you might be very inspired, overall, it's very small. Like, you have no real idea of what is about to, either engulf you or how hard it's going to be and the difficulties until you're actually doing it. And the reason why forcing people to learn this stuff that we say is so important is that it doesn't fuel their interest. You have to figure out what you are interested in, or if you're a teacher, what the student is interested in. If a student was just like, hey, I had all the time, I want to learn AC/DC was a big one, and I was like, let's learn some AC/DC. They left that day being able to play the beginning of Thunderstruck or something that, very simple, but they were like, oh my God, and you could see that inspiration start growing. And they're just kind of like, oh, I can hear it. That sounds like the song. And I'm like, exactly. I go, it's so fun. So by sitting there telling people that you need to do this is actually a very bad approach to teaching people in general. Again, that's another thing. You can look up articles on it. That style of teaching actually, causes a lot of anxiety in many people. It could be like subconscious anxiety and stuff like that, but it's really like, it's weird. But if you're sitting there and being like, oh yeah, I learned this stuff, it was so helpful, and you kind of like demonstrate it to them, and you're over there like, emitting this like positive energy about it and all this stuff, people are so much more receptive to it. And another common thing is, oh, they're not disciplined, they're not this, they're not that. And I really believe that that's not the case. Now, there is discipline involved in guitar, but it all comes down to what level of a guitar player do you want to be. Don't waste your time. If all you genuinely care about is like, I want to sit on my back porch, play a couple chords, and just chill out. You know what? You don't really need to learn how to do your dominant 7 arpeggios in 5 different positions and your Hungarian minor scale. You know, unless it's something you're interested in. But if you're just wanting to play chord stuff, you don't need to learn it. So don't waste your time learning all this stuff that you're not gonna learn. I mean, life's too short for that, you know? I've learned so many things that I don't use. I'm just like, why did I bother learning that, you know? And now I focus on like, well, what am I really interested in? That's what I try to learn. So that's all I got to say on that, homies. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, I think that, you know, at the end of the day, guitar is, for me, one of the most amazing things ever. I love playing guitar. I love music. I'm not some crazy, amazing John Petrucci, but I love just playing. You know, I love it so much, and I hope that other people find that passion if you don't have it. But until next time, homies, yo, we are out of here. Peace out. Keep on rocking. And I will see you later. Bye, guys.